Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. Samantha is out there in California for the California Crown.
California Crown.
California Crown. Hey, before we get started, we're really thinking about those people up in northern Florida and Georgia and wherever that got whacked by this hurricane. We were lucky enough. It missed us. We got wind and rain, so we're off the turf today, but feeling for those people up there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the wind and the heavy rain a little bit earlier in the week, but nothing to the size and the destruction that our friends had on the other side of the state, and as you mentioned, north as well. So just hope everybody's okay out there. Maybe the racing can kind of brighten your day a little bit.
Yeah. So we're off the turf this afternoon, and we're lucky. As I said, we got a couple of things blown away, but that you expect with that stuff, and it's South Florida. We expect that stuff. So with that said, we have the Rainbow Six the other day with the mandatory payout. It was a lot of fun. So we're starting that anew today. It's races 4 through 9, and mentioned this ad nauseum how many times when it's hit the next day it gets a decent pool.
Sure.
And you got a chance to take it down. So all that business taken care of. Now we'll go to the first race this afternoon. It's going to be, now it was a mile on the turf, going to be a mile 70 yards. These are maiden claimants, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And we have a scratch of the 1, the 4, and the number 8 horse. And Brian has an early pick 5 ticket he wants to show you.
We'll take a look at it now. It's $18. I will say, your morning lines today, I have to make them for turf, but the picks we were all kind of thinking maybe the Tapeta would be in play. So nothing really changed for me in this sequence. That's the positive. No scratches early for me in race number 2. You go 3 deep there, the 7. Here comes the Peach on top for me in race 3. Another 3-pack there. La Mistral, the 2 in race number 4. There's your single, and that is my best bet of the day, Ron. That is Amazing Woo for the Hertax. And then in race number 5, we'll go 2 deep, and your order is 53. And that is Evanora, just pulling for a little upset there over She's So Sexy.
Yeah, in the I get a long shot in race number 5. Otherwise, we're right, almost in actually agreement. Also, we had the tropical turf pick 3. Well, it's not going to be that. It's going to be the tropical Tapeta pick 3, and you put a ticket together, $3 ticket. Of course, Samantha usually does it, but she's out of town.
Yeah, she's out there. California Crown. You see 2 deep there, race 6 now, 3 deep there in that spot with the top pick being the 5, and that is Queen Ali. We'll show you a replay there of her Monmouth turf win, though. And in race number 9, the top pick is and always was the 1, Vino for the Queen. Nick Palmer, the barn, quietly doing some good work.
I'm glad you used Lisa Lewis's horse. I like that horse with the move to the Tapeta this afternoon. So getting back to this first race after all those tickets and everything, Brian, I always had the 5 on top in here, and it's hard not to. If you look at the horse's last race, it was on the turf, dropping down. It's Safi Joseph Jr. Had a little trouble at the 3/16 pole last time out.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly the horse to beat, going to be a short number. It's Safi, it's Edgard. They just keep on keeping on. We'll have to prove it on Tapeta. There's no reason to think she won't. They paid $52 for her. She was in for 16 on debut, 25 on debut. Looks like they just want to try to pick up a win, Rob.
5-10, 10-5, you got the 10 on top, and this one's got some speed.
Well, that's the thing. Got some speed, and I know the Tapeta race at Turfway Park wasn't much. Those are good horses up there. The winner came back to win, and the other thing is Jenna Antonucci got this horse last time onto the turf, and you see a lot of improvement with the Lasix going on, too. I'm expecting another move forward today.
Yeah, the 2-horse 2 figures in there for Joe Kenton. He's ran okay. So pretty logical in race number 1. But there is that change from turf to Tapeta. Second race is going to be 5.5 furlongs on the main track. These are maiden claimers. They're 2-year-olds. No scratches in this race. And Brian, interesting to see, did you go with the horse I had on top, Kabui?
No.
Oh, good.
But we can lead with you because I was able to find a workout here, and there's not much to go on with these first-time starters. So let's pull it up here, Kabubi, for Jose D'Angelo. Hey, Paco's back. Got to take notice of that. There's no doubt about that. Paco Lopez is back here. Joe Bravo. Joe Bravo. Excuse me. Paco was early. Joe Bravo here. There's not a lot happening in this workout. I thought, I don't know. I thought she's trying to pull a Samantha here and see what she does, and I certainly can't do that. She's so sharp with looking at these workouts in the morning. But, she's kind of holding the head high there. I wasn't enamored with this drill, but it is a solo drill. She's got plenty of them. Jose D'Angelo, you've got the stat, Ron, I think. But I will say this horse will not lose today because he's short on fitness. That's for sure.
Well, let's show you that stat with Jose D'Angelo. And there you can see 2-year-old first-time starters, maiden claimants, 1 for 18, 6%, 22% of the money. So maybe it's good you won another way. By the way, I didn't mention that there's a jockey change on the 5. That is going to be Jose Ferrer. There's going to be Drayden Van Dyke. Jose Ferrer off of those mounts today. And that 5 is also gelding. I forgot to mention it at the top. You did go with Here Comes the Peach.
Yeah, so we've got experience, right? Did no running at all on Tapeta on debut for Heather Smullen, but it was a maiden special weight at 24-1. We get the race behind him now, the biggest drop in all of racing. He did show speed that day before tiring. Now the blinkers go on. We'll just see if we get a little bit of a wake up with an expert ace gate rider and Amicio Jaramillo getting aboard.
And, you got the number 4 Quisler, Mary Lightner. She does a good job. And you see that Edgar Zeiss is going to be in the saddle. So you got to give this horse a second look, especially when it's a wide open affair like this. And that's basically it. We got our selections flip-flopped around. Going to race number 3 this afternoon. We're going to stretch it out to 1 mile on the main track. These are claimers, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. Scratch the 4, scratch the 7. And, I just thought that did you go with the 2 also? Yeah, Lee Mistral. You would think that this horse on the drop is the one to get.
Yeah, could have got him at 24-1 last time when he ran 3rd. You're going to get a whole heck of a lot less than that today, but it is a drop. He did run well last time. The Bennett barn has been going good too. I just kind of think it adds up to him being in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, the Bennett barn with Sammy Camacho in the saddle, which is going to be the case. I'm going to show you a stat on Lee Mistral here with this connection, so we'll see how it plays out here. This is, starters at Gulfstream in the past 2 years. 13 of 82, good, 16%, 44% of the money. 292 is the return on investment. So I just wanted to see, because we always talk about Gerald Bennett coming down here. What does he do? So let's put it in print, and it's pretty solid.
And part of that sample is a stakes win on the dirt with a 2-year-old, so that's pretty good work there.
And I know you got a replay on the number 1 in here. Break the ice.
Yeah, there's not trouble per se here, but this horse is going to be inside the entire way. And if you watch this stretch run, thank you, Bob. If you watch this stretch run, I never really thought he was enamored being down inside there, Ron. I mean, I'm not saying he's got a world of run either. He does finish second, and I'll give him credit, and I'll give Luca credit, too, for kind of persevering. I never thought he liked being down in there, and the reason why I didn't put him on top today is because he's theoretically, at least from the post position, he's down in there again today. Hector Diaz Jr. going to have to kind of figure something out because I think this horse wants to be outside.
And one of the biggest head scratches in horse racing when you're handicapping is looking at horses that have won their previous race, broke their maiden, and come back. It's hard to win again. That's what we get with things getting hairy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's fine. It was a slow race. They all have to win sometimes. Javier Negrete, the barn, is off to a solid start at the meet. I know this isn't the toughest group of winners he's ever going to face, but as you said, it is a class rise. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, going to that next level up is tough. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six ticket and all good stuff for the rest of the afternoon.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron. And I was going to say Samantha, but it is, of course, Brian.
Christina,
and,
too, though.
Yeah, Christina. Whatever name might come out of my head, you never quite know here. That's why we keep you on the toes when I'm doing the show. fourth race, going to be 6 furlong maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up, no scratches and stuff. But the Rainbow Six starts here, and it was a lot of fun on Sunday with the mandatory payout, as it always is. And here is my ticket starting it off. It's $32.40. We'll talk about this fourth race. I went 3 deep in race number 5. Top pick is my long shot, 20-1. That's Jurassic Chick. In the 6th race, I went with the number 6, Opponent's Hope, on top for Eddie Pleasa Jr. Race number 7, just 2 for me. Top pick being that Fenwick. And then in race number 8, there's my single American, of course, probably the international single in the Rainbow Six. 3 deep in the last. Brian used the same 3, but I had 7, some of it on top for Lisa Lewis. Just change them around a little bit. $32.40 to kick off the new Rainbow Six.
Yeah, and as Ronnie said, it's a good spot to jump in. We would expect a pool in the $50,000 range, and when it's in its infancy and it's just getting going, it goes quickly here, it builds quickly. You have a chance. You get a price or 2, you have a legitimate chance to be a single ticket at the end.
Yeah, it's happened numerous times,
Yes,
so great day to play it, and we'll see how things work out as we move along. And I don't know if you had the number 6, Amazing Woo, on top, or Dream With Me. I know you got a video with both of those.
Yeah, best bet time for me with Amazing Woo. Let's check out the video, because what we're going to show you here is Amazing Woo pretty comfortably beating Come Dream With Me. And, Come Dream With Me had everything his own way, and he's got dead aim off the far turn. Amazing Woo, Ronnie, the old won the battle and lost the war a little bit, because Performante, who ran a very weird race, and he was a ton the best. He was dropping back at the top of the stretch and came again. This was a winning run from Amazing Woo with this post position today. I think he finally sees it out and gets one for the Hertex.
Yeah, I think Performante might be back on Sunday or something
is.
like that. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I started it with that horse for all the
Yeah.
reasons you just shown there. I didn't go with the number 8 at all in second. You did, and that's a 7 anniversary.
I'm kind of sort of channeling my inner Samantha here. He's only run 1 time. Georgina's got this horse now, and he's only run 1 time on the main track. It was a route. It was not for her. Maybe she moves him up. He seems to be in pretty good form in the 2 starts for the barn. Maybe he moves up a little bit, and maybe he adds some spice to the exacta. That's all.
Yeah, I went with the 4/3 off
Sure.
the bench for Ronnie Spatz, turning back to 3/4.
Yeah.
Was in that race we just showed, finished 4th that race, but was up there on the pace the whole time. I think the turnback's going to help. 3rd off the bench is going to help. You get Miguel Vasquez. I thought this was a logical contender in the race.
You bring up a good point that I didn't mention. That was a 7 furlong race.
Yeah.
We're going 6 today. It's a big deal, I think, for both of these horses.
Yeah, both of those horses are going to help there with the turn back. Going to race number 5 this afternoon. It's going to be 5.5 on the Topita. These are claimers. They're fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Going to scratch the 4, Baby Luck, and also scratch the number 9, Follow the Fed. And interesting to see. Well, let's first show my late pick 5 ticket. We'll see. It's sort of a rehash there. You'll see at $27. Still get that single of the number 8 horse in there in race number 8. And like I said, I think it's going to be the international single. If that horse can speed American, of course, you're going to get some pay. If you were mentioned that with the Rainbow Six, it's going to be good. And then even in the late pick 5 this afternoon. So I'm curious. I'll talk about my long shot after you talk about the horse you got on top.
Well, we'll lead with Evanora, who I thought ran pretty well last time. We can show you the replay. She was behind Capisci last time, a good 3rd, a little further back than I think they wanted to be. But I thought she ran pretty well in this spot here. She's the 3, and she's kind of bottled up a little bit. Edgard's just kind of waiting for a spot. You can see her get sandwiched. Not like any trouble going on here, but she was in and amongst a bunch of horses. The winner is, as I mentioned, Capisci, who was pretty good. But I thought Evanora ran pretty well this day. I had admittedly have kind of tried her a time or 2. I like being drawn outside. She's so sexy, who gives me some, we'll talk about her in a second, because you got your long shot up next. I think Evanora's in a pretty good spot here today.
Yeah, I mean, I got her on my ticket too, and a little further down on the ticket. My long shot, I'll tell you about it, is Jurassic Chick. Now, you would say this horse comes out of a slow race, which it did. They shipped this horse up to Colonial, tried the turf, runs very well, beats a pair of next out winners. So I like the fact that it turned out to be a pretty decent race. I mean, and I just thought, you look at the connections. Angel Rodriguez, he's 4 for 6 in the money very early on in the Sunshine Meet, and you're getting Sammy Camacho. I'm not scared of anybody in this race, so I'm hoping I get 8-10 to 1 with a couple of scratches in here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get more, but with Sammy Camacho, well, hey, why not take a shot?
She didn't run terribly on the Tapeta. I know she was 8th, but look at the ground she made up from the back. Hopefully she breaks a little bit better today. And the beauty of anybody not named She's So Sexy is you are going to get a square price because they're going to absolutely bury her on the tote board.
Yeah, because just the drop there, you could see, you go back, the maiden win was very impressive. Then they dropped the horse today. And who is it? Saffy Joseph Jr. He does this. And the horse that won that race last time, Hub City. We're always talking about Hub City for some reason.
Yeah, the only thing that bugs me a little bit, and I know Hub City came back to win, as Ronnie said, this horse is loose and controlling, pretty much walking a 2-length early lead, and all she can do is finish third, beating 4 lengths, and now she drops again. At a very short price, too.
Yeah, we'll see how.
Yeah.
Saffy, like you said, is going to take all the money in there,
Right.
and rightly so. So you go to race number 6 this afternoon, and this one originally was supposed to be on the turf. Now 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, allowance optional claimer, and we had one scratch in here of the number 7. Call Me Spicy, and you have your late pick 4 to go. And there's a jockey change on the 3. It's Sammy Camacho. In that previous race, I didn't get the jock change yet on the number 8, but I'm sure Pete will have it when he comes on right after we're done.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at this late pick 4, $18 for me. This is where the scratches did kind of whittle things down a little bit, and I'm not really complaining about that either. I had a bigger ticket. In race 7, unfortunately, I lost my long shot in there, Mega Glorious, so I scratch into Fenwick, who I certainly don't trust. I'm going to try to beat American, of course, but I'm only going to try to do it with one other horse, and that is Bodacious Bren, and in the 4. And in race number 9, the top pick is Vino for the Queen, as I talked about earlier. $18 late pick 4 ticket.
Yeah, and $18, and we'll see. Always interesting, and we got the horse that I believe is this the one you have on top, Queen Oily, the Irish bred that ran a Monmouth last time.
Yeah, we're going to show this replay. I do have her on top. I do scratch into her on top. This is a turf race. I know that, but she's never run on Tapeta. What I really want to show here, okay, and she's out the back for Delgado and AMO Racing. You typically, Ron, don't win turf races like this at Monmouth Park. This is a good effort. It was a 1X. She's going to meet tougher today. She's going to have to prove it on Tapeta as well. She does have a bullet drill on September 20th, but it was a very slow drill. It's not like a lot of horses worked that day. Thank you, Bob, and the group. Here she is leveling off in the lane, a very strong win. Samantha and I have talked about this. I've talked about it with you as well. Delgado, I've been fading this barn a little bit, but I think the tables are starting to turn, and I think this barn's going to start going soon.
Well, look, sorry, Brian, all the horses that were up in Monmouth are now coming down. If you follow the past performances of and Delaware, you follow, they were all coming back here, left for the summer. We'll see how he did. He did very well here in Florida, I'll tell you that much. Hey, how could you not like Opponent's Hope in here? You have it a little further down. If you look at this horse, this race in February, beats those state-bred optional claimers, where on the Tapeta, comes back in April and wins again. We beat 75 optional claimers, so everyone's saying, where's this horse been? Why the breaks? But I just think coming back for excellent conditioner in Eddie Plesser Jr. is a major player.
Yeah, and he puts Edgar aboard, and they're over 20% together. She's got the speed to be involved throughout, and this post position works good for her, too.
Well, I find very interesting the horse that I mentioned that's going to be ridden by Sammy Camacho, Wide West, who scratched out of the Bob Humphrey turf stake, but it was on the Tapeta, and looked like they didn't want to run on the Tapeta last time, but they're coming back and running on the Tapeta today in a much easier spot.
No doubt about it. She's probably going to have to win this as the inside speed. Your pick's going to be pressing her the entire way. It's a tough path to victory for her, but she's the class. She's got a lot of talent, and you have to take note right now of anything Sammy's riding, because he is off to a white-hot start here, pulling all the right strings, putting horses in all the right spots, booting home 50 to 1s. Boy, he's been in good form.
Well, when this race was originally scheduled for the turf, you could sort of make a case against Talking Tipsy. Pretty hard to do it now, going for its 4th consecutive victory after 3 consecutive wins on the all-weather surface.
Yeah, this is a turf morning line, and it's not a Tapeta morning line, and she is arguably the horse to beat 3 in a row. on the Tapeta.
Yeah, so you got to go down. So like my picks
Yep.
are going to be changed around a little bit, just those reasons that I mentioned. We handicap for the turf, as you know, and we change them around a little bit. But what's been great about horses going from turf to Tapeta, you don't lose them in horses that you usually pick figure on either surface. So it's been good as far as that. Great thing that they put the Tapeta in here, and we don't get those numerous scratches, but you don't like the bottle.
I got it, Dennis. Don't worry about
You
it.
got it. Did I hit it? No, you hit it.
No, I hit it.
Seventh race, 6 furlongs, claimers 3-year-olds and up, which never won 2 races. Scratch the one Mega Glorious jockey on the number 7 horse, is Joseph Treos. And you look at the jockey in number 5. That is Micah Husbands. Gets a little, breaking the weights here this afternoon on this particular one, 117. But interesting to see how he runs. He's the nephew of
The great Patrick Husbands. Yeah.
Patrick Husbands
Yeah.
from up there in Canada.
Woodbine superstar.
Yeah, so you scratched into 2 Fenwick.
I did. I have my long shot in here. The 1, that's a moot now. Fenwick, I don't trust, but this is a big, big drop, and it looks like they're just saying, we want to pick up a win. If you want to claim them, you go right ahead. When you're in for 35 on the dirt here, when you're in for 35 on the turf here, and now you're in for 12.5, that is a huge, huge class drop.
The number 5 horse in here that we both have, well, we got the same try in here. Crypto Man, hey, you want to give this horse a name? You probably can say Chalk Burner. The horse just does not win. It's always the favorite, it seems.
Yeah, he's burned it 4 times in his last 5 starts. Safi's going to give a leg up again to Mika Husbands here of 117. You get a little bit of a weight allowance. He's getting 7 pounds from some of these horses. I think the big thing for Crypto Man is, if you want to be fair to him, the race in the slop 2 back was the ugly race. He's going to get dry land out there. Well, we hope today. That was a good effort on July 5th.
Number 3, Prefermonte. I knew that name this afternoon. And, we showed this race a couple back, and now he tries a mile last time out. And, he's a little, little leg weary in the stretch, going to turn back to the 3/4.
He's fine. It was a weird race that he won 2 back because he dropped all the way back, and then he came again. I didn't really know what to make of it. He didn't run terribly last time. First start against winners at this level. You could do worse than landing on him.
Yeah, so that's it. We're basically in agreement in race number 7. Going to race number 8, we're sprinting on the Tapeta at 5.5 furlongs. It's an allowance optional claimer, and we do have 2 scratches in here. The 7, Cajun Fantasy, and the 10, Traverse. And, boy, as we mentioned throughout, I know you're trying to beat it, and I like the fact that you are with the 4, Bodacious Bren. And I think maybe we'll start there before we show the video to see what you saw, and then we can show the video and you can work it out.
So you got to dig a little bit here, but this horse has run well on the Tapeta at Gulfstream in the past, albeit with different trainers. I get that, but he's never missed the board in 4 starts. The races stack up nicely. He's well drawn to the outside of American, of course. He's going to be a much better price, too, and I guess we can almost segue now to the huge, huge heavy favorite. Why has this horse got to be in for 20, Ron? What's that all about?
Well, show the video and I'll show you a stat, too.
Okay. Well, watch this video. There's absolutely nothing happening here other than an absolute tour de force. Now, this horse is 2 for 2 on Tapeta by a combined 9 1/4 lengths. Look at Edgard. We're going to give my partner some credit here with the old jiggy jog in the park because this horse never really gets out of 3rd gear in this spot. This was at this level last time. Maybe Safi's playing some poker and say, if you want to claim the horse, you go right ahead, but I'll get the win and I'll pick up the 20 as well. He owns this horse too. That's all fine and dandy. I just rubs me a little the wrong way that this horse is in for a tag, Ron.
I think the key there, Brian, is when you said that it's owned by him.
Yeah.
I think that he just said, okay, I'm putting it in, and, win another race, and we'll show you the stat. There it is. And it's 61 to 100 a day layoff. Tapeta sprints over the past 5 years. It was going to be, it could actually be 3 years, and it's 20%, 47% of the money. And he's got a positive return on investment. It's just a little window dressing for a horse that certainly looks like the one to beat now.
Well, it'll be a very, very short number. And as Ronnie said kind of at the start when he showed his rainbow, this is the anchor for a lot of people. You beat this horse today, things are blowing up.
Exactly. And then you got, I had some interest, Brian, in the number 2, Vindicate Cha-Cha. And it's just a drop down to the 20 level. I just thought this horse ran well 2 starts back against better in here. And I think this horse has a chance to be a major player, especially with MSCL Haramia Amicio in the
Well,
saddle.
that's kind of the other reason why I tried to beat the 1, because you mentioned Amicio. I mean, and he's going, right?
Yeah,
and they're going to go early. They're going to go often, facing older for the first time. I think something's going to have to give up front.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. Then the number 5 horse, the Dove Rules. That's the one ridden by the apprentice Micah Husband's going to be interested to see how he does.
The other Safi.
The other Safi.
Oh, boy.
You know the old adage of the other Safi. Race number 9 was originally scheduled for a mile on the turf. It's 1 mile, 70 yards on the Topita Maiden Claimers. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 2, the 4, and the number 9. And, Brian, you're starting it with the 1,
Yep.
Vino for the Quino.
Well, the last time this horse was on Topita was in a maiden special way, and I don't know the designation of the key race because I see 2 next out winners. It was a key race.
Yeah.
The top 2 come right back to win. This is a big drop now. Okay, we get to run for the tag here for the first time on the Topita of late. And hey, I mentioned it earlier. Nick Palmer's doing some good things around here. And I like the post position here as well.
And the last race was on the mud.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see how it runs out today. Of course, going 2 turns on the Topita. I went with some of it, and this one I just thought had a good shot. Joe Bravo riding for Lisa Lewis, who doesn't start many horses, but if you go back and look, they always seem to run well. And you just go back and look at June 20th. I thought that was a good performance there. Second behind a next out winner, clearly a repeat winner, I should say, clearly Copper. Of course, tried the turf. Now this is back a while.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't run since July. Does this one come back and run? I was looking for a little bit of a price, 8-1 on the morning line. You know, I think things change when we move to the Topita.
Yeah, you could make a case for this horse going favored in here off that race, and you can definitely make a case for this horse getting a win today.
And then you got the number 6, a Spicy Guacamole for Jerry O'Dwyer. And just look at that last race. What's wrong with that? It was close and got beat a length as the favorite last time out.
The only thing that worries me is the one kind of elephant in the room is the only bad performance of late was routing on the Topita, and it was not good at all.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. That's how we see the 9 races this afternoon. As I mentioned a little while ago, Pete will be on after us with the scratches and changes, but we have the lightning round starting right now. And boy, did we have a big weekend at our sister track in Santa Anita.
We got the standings first, though, because
standing.
someone forgot the standings, which was me. And Robles and the crew upstairs. Ace is up there, and we appreciate that. So let's take a look at the standings here. Just kind of getting going here at the Sunshine Meet, and Miguel's off to a very good start.
Yeah, 11 wins. Edgard, of course, 9. Edwin Gonzalez. Everybody's there. All the players are there, and it's very early. And we'll see what's happening with the trainer situation right now.
I don't think. Well, okay. Wow, Rohan's off to a good
Rowan's
start.
right up there. Yeah, you know, early on, of course, Safi got a couple of wins, but Rowan's right there, and he's got a couple of really live horses both today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Absolutely, in a very high percentage barn.
Yeah, and you know, Safi, you know that story with Safi. He's just been incredible here, does a good job. And now we have that really nice rematch we're going to see. And we've handicapped these races the other day. You can find all our stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, Twitter and stuff. Here's the rematch of the Pegasus World Cup. National Treasure holds off a furious late rally for Senor Buscador. Samantha's out there. Massive, massive day. California Crown Day tomorrow. Our guy Santiago, he's not listening, but I want to give a mention to him because he crushed it, as did Dennis was there, and Ben and Robles and the whole crew putting all these videos together. We're really appreciative, and they're out there now. This is a fascinating race. I know Samantha loves National Treasure. She did some stuff on this one as well. 3 amped up Breeders' Cup kind of win and you're in races at Santa Anita. The Eddie D, which I talked about, and you talked about the John Henry.
Yeah, the John Henry. Lots of good races up there. It's going to be like, got the also we got the Coast to Coast Pick 5.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, look at the bonanza that's there, the wagering menu tomorrow at Santa Anita. Not only is it phenomenal with the races that they've got, but the bets that they have with a 15% low takeout, $2 all turf pick 4, which I did. You and I did the Coast to Coast. You and Samantha did the late pick 5, 15%, $2 or $1. Just get on the website, check it out, or Twitter and all that good stuff, because there are some phenomenal betting opportunities for the player out there tomorrow.
Yeah, and you know, we got some good action right here in South Florida. We got our Hollywood Beach is our favorite, right?
The beach.
The beach.
I could have been a millionaire, Ron. It's a good one tomorrow, the Hollywood Beach, and it's going to have a couple shippers down from Colonial that have, one of them has run here before. I'll tell you what, it looks wide open. This is Mo Handsome now, is going to try, we hope the turf, that remains to be seen, but this was an impressive debut win for this one tomorrow, and that was for Ronnie Spatz. This is in the Coast to Coast that you and I talked about. Impressive. Now, Ronnie won't complain if it's on Tapeta, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's a fascinating race because it's very wide open.
Yeah, it is very wide open, and it's great that it's part of the Coast to Coast Pick 5. We got our best bets today. Your best bet?
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle of the card. Race number 4, Amazing Woo for the Hertax at 9-5.
Boy, did I hit the chalk today with the number 1 horse in race number 8. I wanted that single in the Rainbow Six American. Of course, probably going to be 3-5 on the board. But your long shot here, I went deep with mine. Let's check out yours first.
Mine is out, unfortunately.
Well,
so
mine's
it's just
Jurassic
you.
Chick Key Race.
Big number.
21, not a monster key race.
No, okay.
Yeah, so we'll
Just
see how
key
it plays
race.
out. Smells like the beach.
The
a little bit.
beach.
It smells like the
I could have been a
old
millionaire.
Seinfeld stuff we never get. So Pete's going to be on. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to give you all the changes and stuff. Brian and I will be back throughout the afternoon, and we're going to have, like I said, a lot of fun on Friday afternoon.